into Cape York now. Once again, I'm the last to leave. Everyone else has cleared out. We're at Bramwell. No, we're at Hann River Roadhouse, about to head to Bramwell Station. And oh, it's just cleaning out the rooms. And I've got to say, I'm feeling a bit weary. It was a big day yesterday, massive 500 kilometres of pretty constant off-road riding for the most part. Challenging enough, and everyone was pretty knackered when we got in last night. Most of the guys got in between 5:30 around 6 o'clock, and we just had to stop and chill out and have a couple of rums, a couple of beers to start, and then we had dinner. Now we're on the PDR, fresh tyres on board, put a fresh Motos rails on the back and a fresh dual venture on the front for my bike this morning, so it's feeling a bit better. Replaced all the coolant this morning that I had to top up with river water the other day, and tensioned up the chain, which is I've probably got one more adjustment out of that rear chain before it's going to run out of adjustment on the axle. So I think I'm going to be lucky to finish the ride with the chain and sprockets that are on there. They're just wearing rapidly now. That's a problem. Once the chain and sprockets are worn, they really wear quickly and stretch a lot in the last little bit. So you go from having an okay chain to having a completely stuffed chain in no time flat. And I probably mistimed all of this. I should have brought some new chain and sprockets with me to change part way through, because I knew they would be getting close to the end of their life, but it's just accelerated all the wear up here. Anyway, we're on the PDR now. We'll head north to Bramwell today. There, the old DR. Perfect bike for up here. Are you going to go or what? Are you going to go with them? Or are you going to stay there? You're going back. Righto. Don't you come my side. Go that way. So when people talk about the PDR, this is what they're talking about. The Peninsula Development Road. It's basically a big dirt superhighway that runs up through Cape York. Get the bike off the side stand. It's a big dirt superhighway that's partially dirt, partially sealed. A lot of it is sealed now through to Weeper. So basically it starts down at Lakeland at the southern end of Cape York Peninsula, and it runs pretty much up the guts, up the middle of Cape York Peninsula. And it was designed to open up access to the tip of Australia. There's a section further up which we'll be doing tomorrow, called the Overland Telegraph Track, or the Telly Track, as everyone tends to call it. That's the section we're doing tomorrow, and that's one of the most infamous tracks up here on the Cape York Peninsula. One of the more challenging tracks. We'll go through that tomorrow, which is going to be good fun. This is the stuff that's diabolical when it's wet up here in the Cape York Peninsula. That red, clay, sandy stuff, and then we come down to this bauxite. Hopefully there's not too much dust on the screen. Yeah, that clay stuff is just so slippery up here when it gets wet. And then we transition to this bauxite sort of surface that's just like riding on ball bearings. You forget how big some of the mountains are here. Like some of those mountains are pretty high. Puffing out some smoke. Yeah. Little spot fire there. Oh, water. Wait for it. Oh, right in it. Yeah. Shit. Jesus. Feel the heat. Oh. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, that's... It's not real good when you don't have air conditioning to filter it out. Well, this bit's going to be a bit nasty. It looks clear through this though. Yeah, really. There we go. Whoa. Ah. Whew. I'm glad it wasn't much closer to the road there. That was sort of throwing out a bit of heat. Archer River sure has had a makeover since I was here last. The roadhouse is all done up in there. And check out this new bridge. So that's the old road down there to the right. The old causeway that we used to ride over. And look at the height of this bridge now. It's massive. So they used to have a lot of problems with this bridge flooding, and it was it would break the chain basically of access up along Cape York Peninsula. Look at all the four drive tracks in there. Archer River is a really cool little spot with all these little creeks in amongst the big boulders. Nice spot just to hang out and enjoy some time. We never seem to do it though. We just get into the servo, fuel up and go again. A little bit too much mucking around to strip off all the gear in the middle of the ride. But we will do that tomorrow at Fruitbat Falls, providing we've got time. As long as we get through the telly track in a good amount of time, then we'll go to Fruitbat Falls for a little swim. Looking forward to that. Here's the Cape York sign. Heading north. So Bramwell Junction is where we're heading to tonight. We're actually heading to Bramwell Tourist Park, and then tomorrow Bamaga, and then the next day Pajinka. So we won't really be at Bamaga, we'll be at Punsen Bay, but then Pajinka, Cape York 357, that's where we're heading to. I don't know how well you can see it, but this is one unique thing in Australia. See the birds circling in the bush, circling in the sky here in the smoke. We've got a burn off that's going off, and as that burn off happens, all the little animals, the mice and things will run across the road, and the whistling kites here will pluck them off the road. Get a free feed. Easy pickings. I suppose this isn't really unique to Australia. It probably happens in other parts of the world, but I've certainly seen it a lot. I think I'd have to... What? He just went in for something then. Is there anything on the road up there? It'd be lucky for me to spot a mouse or something scurrying across the road, but birds have got much better vision than I have. Coming up here to the Moreton Telegraph Station, which is closed now. I can't remember which river this is. Is it the Wenlock? Let me check. It is the Wenlock River. So this used to be the Moreton Telegraph Station in here, but it's since been closed from what I understand. Yeah, looking pretty dead in there. I haven't checked it out last year. I went in there a couple of years ago and it was open. There wasn't a lot going on there. They've got camping grounds, or they had camping grounds and a little store, but it probably gets flooded every year. The wetlock goes up and they're probably going to rebuild it. That wetlock river is a big one. It starts over here at the east and goes all the way across to the west coast. We rode across it in 2023 at Stones Crossing. That was a doozy. Airstrip there. There we go, rolling into Bramwell Station, or Bramwell Tourist Park, or Kenswell as I call it, because we're going to be meeting Ken later on. And Ken makes his presence known to everyone. And you must abide by Ken's rules and Ken's time frame, or bad luck for you. So this is Bramwell Tourist Park. We've just peeled off the PDR. The driveway for the tourist park is about 5 kilometres long. You can see some massive termite mounds off there. And then we've got airstrip here, heading off into the distance. Some nicely mown grass, or eaten grass. Maybe they have animals out there. I can't imagine they mow it. They probably just put the cows on there every now and again and let them chomp away, and then pull the cows in when there's a plane coming to land, maybe. I don't know. Lots of buildings here though, and we've got some cabins here and dongas over the other side. We've got the main restaurant area on the left here, and you can either camp here or stay in the cabins like we're going to do. And Stephen is number one in. Hey! There's Peter's got the van in there. Go and find Peter first. Yeah, so it's not a bad setup here at Bramwell Station. It's nice and neat. You can see the old bar there, big camp area, and then these dongas, which work well for us. So they've got 1 and 2 bed dongas, and then there's some ensuite cabins over the other side there that are a little bit more deluxe.